let's work on blocks 6, 7, and 8 in our vintage boardwalk quilt. Hey Kimberbell friends, Cristin here. So we have completed 5 blocks so far in our vintage boardwalk quilt. You can see them here. So today we're going to start on blocks 6, 7, and 8. This is the quilt that we're working on by Kimberbell Designs. You can get the embroidery designs from your local quilt shop and the fabrics and embellishment kit and thread kit if you choose. So today we're going to do blocks 6, 7, and 8, which is a life preserver, and it's a very simple block. So we're going to need our 3 background fabrics for our main fabric here, and they're going to be cut to size 8.5 by 8.5, and as always I back them with fusible mesh stabilizer so that they're nice and crisp and no puckers. So on the one is the yellow dots, did you see that, and blue wavy, and you don't have to worry about the direction just yet because it's 8.5 by 8.5, so perfect. All right, so on the last one though, I want to point out that there are 2 fabrics that are very similar. I don't know if you can see that, but one has the lines a little bit darker and one has them a little bit lighter. And as I mentioned in a previous tutorial, you can see in the beginning of your book, it'll tell you each of the fabrics and which block that they go with so that you can confirm that you're using the right one. So I'll go ahead and tell you though, for this one, we're going to use the darker of the 2. So we're going to use this one, 8.5 by 8.5. That's for one of the life preserver backgrounds. And then we need 3 applique pieces, 1 per block. How simple is that? So actually, I'm sorry, it's 2. My mistake. So it's the main color and then the white for each of the 3 blocks. So red and white, orange and white, and blue and white. And the white is all the houndstooth, they're all the same. And these are cut to 5.5 by 5.5. And as always, I back them with fusible mesh stabilizer. Makes it really easy to cut also. The edges don't fray all over the place, all over your project. So those very simple applique pieces, and then you need your batting. I cut my batting to 7 by 7 for these blocks, and for the quilting, I've chosen, actually before the quilting, real quick, you're going to need your satin stitch colors. So orange, red, and navy blue. I'm using the lighter of the red. It doesn't matter. The houndstooth red has light red and dark red, so you could use either one. Totally up to you. And then I've decided on this maroonish, greenish, bluish for my background quilting on all 3 blocks. And I've also chosen Pebbles 1 as my quilting design today. Again, you can use any quilting design. So this block, we're going to square it off and finish it to 6.5 by 6.5. So that means we want our quilting design to be 6 by 6. As always, there's a 1/4 inch around for piecing it all together. And so that's how you determine what size quilting that you want to use. So if it is a finished size of 6.5 by 6.5, that means you want a quilting block that is 6 by 6. So I've chosen Pebble. I've never used that one before, and hopefully it'll be as cute as I'm thinking it will be with this life preserver. And again, I'm using this tealish, greenish, bluish teal color for my quilting design. It's called Sprout, and it's in the thread kit if you chose to get the optional thread kit for vintage boardwalk. So at the very end, after it's all quilted, after it's all done, after we even piece it together, we will add the embellishments for this one. So right now it's just do the applique pieces, and that's it. We're set. We're ready to go. And a quick note, as I mentioned in our previous block, this one is 6.5 by 6.5, so that means that our quilting design is actually 6.5 by 6.5. We're the quilting is going to be 6 by 6, but the design itself is 6.5 by 6.5, and that's because of the placement stitch for the main fabric and the tack down stitch of the main fabric. So what that means is that you're going to need a bigger hoop. So if you're doing 5 by 7, just like I mentioned yesterday, you would do a 6 by 4 design and a 6 by 2 design, and this Pebbles comes in that. You can easily do that, double hoop it, not a problem. Or you can do a 7 by 12 hoop. I'm going to use my 8 by 8 hoop. If you have a machine that you can bypass the steps, then you could use your 6 by 10 hoop. My machine does not do that. It says right from the start, nope, it's too big for the hoop. You can't use this hoop. So what I could do though, which is really simple, is use embroidery software and take out those 2 steps. So that's a very simple fix as well. I use Sew What Pro software. It's super user friendly. Use whatever works for you, or use a bigger hoop and it's all good.